So with IEP or intellectual property, we have a terminology which is corporate espionage. So since we are talking about IP, we should also be aware about corporate espionage. Corporate espionage is the unlawful theft or acquisition of intellectual property, such as trade secret, patent information, as well as industrial manufacturing technique, process, ideas, and formulas. And although there are ways to bypass the Intellectual Property Act and right is to do reverse engineering, in which typically nations or organizations are involved. First, they buy the product, they understand the product, they do its reverse engineering and make a new product with some minor changes. The benefit of this approach is that especially when a company or a nation develop any of the product, they spend a lot of money and time on its research and development. Then they create the final product. Other entity which is doing corporate espionage or your reverse engineering, they will simply understand the entire thing. They will open the box, they will put some enhancement and take it to the market. Like one of our neighbor has done lot of development in last 20 years only because of reverse engineering. What they do, the moment any of the country creates new product and they include that under Intellectual Property Act, they simply buy that product, do reverse engineering, put some modification and launch that product into the market. So basically what they do, they start the production of that product in bulk, which decrease overall cost of that product. As a result, all nations start buying that product from them. I hope you are aware which country I am talking about and why all the major countries have created their manufacturing hub over there. And we can nowadays, although there are certain restrictions, but previously we are also using their lot of products. Since they produce the product in bulk, which lower the cost and people use it. Another thing is privacy under intellectual property. So what is privacy? Basically, privacy is a state of being free from public scrutiny or having your secret or personal information shared. For example, when you have your own room that no one enters and you keep all your things there away from the eye of others. This is an example of a situation where you have your privacy. Especially if I talk about India, in India, in Lok Sabha, the Personal Data Protection Bill was introduced in December 2019, and currently it is under the consideration of Joint Select Committee. In 2018, the Supreme Court of India declared privacy as a fundamental right under Article 21 of Constitution, which speaks to the protection of life and personal liberty. Our Personal Data Protection Bill attempts to regulate the sharing of personal data, the processing of sensitive and critical personal data, and establish a Personal or Data Protection Authority of India for enforcement and regulation. So they have created a governing body which can work on its regulation. So mainly we have a privacy law, a major privacy law for European countries, which I hope you must be aware, which is called GDPR. Full terminology is General Data Protection Right. In India also very soon we will have a law based on the framework which is adopted by GDPR. Not India, many other countries like China, like Indonesia, and many other countries are coming up with their privacy law in order to secure the privacy of their nation. But mainly, since we already have a mature framework of GDPR, mainly they are taking the inputs, major inputs from GDPR only, and fine tuning it based on their country. So whenever we talk about GDPR, so as you are aware, a law without teeth is useless. So our law should always have teeth. Then only people follow. In case of GDPR, if a company is held liable for its infringement, the penalties are huge. So maximum fine can go up to 17.8 million pound. 17.8 million pound or 4% of annual global turnover, whichever will be greater. It's huge. It has teeth. So that's why some 6 or 7 months back, you must have heard everyone in the company is talking about GDPR, and they have a privacy law officer. Many new positions was recruited in the company because this law were having teeth. The penalty were huge. However, not all GDPR infringement leads to data protection fines. So again, here comes the word due care and due diligence. If in case the PII or personal identifiable information is stolen from your company, the case will go to the court. If you can show you have followed due care and due diligence, obviously the fine will be lesser. In case the court will see you haven't followed due care and due diligence, the penalty will be huge. So next let's come on information security controls. So information security controls are measures taken to reduce information security risk, such as information security breach, data theft, and unauthorized changes to the digital information or systems. These security controls are intended to help protect the availability, confidentiality, and integrity of data and network. Again, overall, the entire InfoSec thing is going around CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So controls are there to secure CIA. So these information security controls can include policy, procedures, standards, as well as guidelines. So first thing we have is policy. Let's understand policy are the heart of the organization which they are trying to achieve or accomplish. These are the statements as how an organization want to behave. Typically, all policies should have some basic components, some basic framework should be there to create a corporate policy. And these components are, it should have a purpose, it should have a scope, it should have responsibility, and it also includes the compliance. So what in purpose? So in terms of purpose, it describes the need of policy, which is typically to protect the CIA of data. It should have a scope which describes what system, people, facility, and organizations are covered by the policy. Any related entity that is not in scope should be documented properly to avoid confusion later on. In terms of responsibility, it should include responsibility of information security staff, policy and management team, as well as the responsibility of all members of the organization. So responsibility should be clearly defined. Then we have compliance, which describes two related issues: how to judge the effectiveness of policy and what happens when policy is violated. As I have already mentioned, all policy must have teeth. A policy that forbids accessing explicit content via the internet is not useful if there are no consequences associated to it. If a person within an organization doesn't follow policy and no one will say anything to him or her, no one is going to follow the policy. So the policy should have teeth in order to enforce it properly. Then we have procedures. Basically, procedures is a step-by-step guide for accomplishing a task. They are typically low level and specific. Like policy, procedures are mandatory controls. Policy is a mandatory control within information security. Typically, for an example, we have a procedure how to make slice of toast with some jam. First step could be prepare sliced bread, toast bread, spread butter, spread marmalade, and deliver the toast. Entire process should be there. If I correlate in our network thing, most of the time, all the big organizations create procedures for their network configuration. Let's assume they have to install a new firewall in their network. They will have complete procedure, how to define the IP, which policy to define, and they share it with the relevant person. Simply the person copy paste all the procedures from the document and complete his or her task. That was the example of procedure in case of network. So here we have a difference between policy and procedures. Here we have taken example of from HR. Policy is vacation policy, 2-week paid after 1 year. Procedure example is how do I request time off? How do I fill out a vacation request form? How do I track vacation days for each employee? That is a part of procedures. Then we have our standard. Basically, our standard describes the specific use of technology, which is often associated to hardware and software. For an example, an organization wants to buy a firewall. They will look for certain standards into this. Like, for example, firewall should be in the Gartner leader quadrant. It should have high efficacy rate. It should have detailed reporting system. It should have IPS functionality features also. So most of the time organizations create some standard. Based on their standard, they buy the hardware. In case of laptop or desktop also, they will have some standard. They will have i5 processor, 16 or 8 GB of memory, 600 GB of hard disk. These are some example of standard. Then we have guidelines. Guidelines are there to work and behave in an organization. Like in case of COVID, we have guidelines from Indian government how we can protect ourselves. But it will totally depend on the people whether they follow the guidelines or not. In an example, we have 11 basic guidelines for general health and longevity. Eat healthy food, plenty of raw food, exercise, sleep, manage your stress, and others. We have baseline also. So baseline is a value or starting point of a scale. In case of IT scenario, we have an organization baseline that before handover of a new laptop, desktop, it should have certain Windows OS with certain patch, with the firewall, with the antivirus, based on, and it depends company to company. So here we have, if whenever we talk about controls, it mainly come under three parameters. Firstly, although there are many more, but this is an example of major one. We have preventive control, we have detective control, we have directive control. So what is the main aim of preventive control? They are prevented to stop an error or irregularity before they occur. For example, password and physical safeguard are established to restrict access to appropriate personnel. Authorization and limit are established to ensure the appropriate oversight of significant transaction. Its intent, preventive control intent is to prevent any malicious activity or any attack. Second one is detective control. They are designed to detect error or irregularities after they have occurred. Like in case we have detective. Once a crime happens, then we have detective who come into the picture. Similarly, we have detective control in IT environment. Example could be exception report are reviewed and cleared by person with appropriate authority. Documentation review are completed to ensure file are complete. Then we have directive controls also, which explain how to do something or the entire process. For example, our policies as well as procedures. So all these controls mainly come into three categories. We have administrative, technical, and physical category. Administrative controls are implemented by creating and following organization policy, procedures, or regulation, which also include user training and awareness, which falls into this category. Mainly the administrative tasks which are done come into administrative control. Then we have technical, which are also called logical. They are implemented using software, hardware that restrict logical access of an information technology system. Example could be our firewall, our routers, the encryption or VPN which we are using, the fire extinguisher, our gates. It also includes our CCTV camera, signs. It comes under. Sorry, I was reading physical control. My mistake. So technical mainly have your network equipment or your software, which include your firewall, routers, and encryption. Then third one is physical controls. Physical control are implemented with physical devices such as lock, fences, gates, security guard, CCTV camera, and other relevant things. So over here, I think it will create more confusion. So let's jump this. So especially in exam, you will get lot of questions around this. What they will do, they will give you different things, like they will ask under which control locks comes in. Like they will give under which category security awareness training comes in. So you definitely have one or two questions around this in exam.